Donald Trump declares he will not seek a third term, reaffirms commitment to Constitution. In a decisive statement that ends months of speculation, former U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that he will not pursue a third term in office, citing respect for the U.S. Constitution and the limitations set forth by the 22nd Amendment. The announcement was made during a recent interview with NBC's Meet the Press, where Trump emphasized his commitment to concluding his presidency within the constitutionally mandated two-term limit. A constitutional line, Trump won't cross the 22nd Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1951 in the wake of Franklin D. Roosevelt's four-term presidency, unequivocally prohibits any individual from being elected to the presidency more than twice. While Trump had previously made cryptic remarks and even joked about extending his presidency beyond the traditional two terms, his latest statement puts those musings to rest. "This is not something I'm looking to do," he said. "I'm looking to have 4 great years and turn it over to somebody, ideally a great Republican." The clarification appears to be an effort to reaffirm his stance on constitutional boundaries and to quell any narratives suggesting authoritarian ambition. Trump's past remarks, often delivered in a tongue-in-cheek manner, had sparked both amusement and concern among political observers, especially when he promoted merchandise labeled Trump 2028. His aides later clarified those actions as political satire, dismissing them as classic examples of Trump trolling, turning to the future. Eyeing a Republican successor. During the interview, Trump signaled his desire to pass the baton to a new generation of Republican leadership. He highlighted Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio as potential figures who could succeed him, though he stopped short of issuing a formal endorsement. "I think we have some really talented people. J.D. is doing an incredible job. Marco's very strong. There are a lot of options," Trump said. The mention of Rubio and Vance, two individuals who have closely aligned themselves with Trump's political vision, suggests a continuity of Trump-style conservatism within the GOP even after his departure. Both men have played pivotal roles in shaping Trump's second-term agenda, Vance as a populist firebrand and Rubio as a seasoned lawmaker with extensive foreign policy credentials. Walking back the third-term talk. Trump's remarks mark a clear shift from previous public rhetoric. At rallies and informal gatherings, he has been known to toy with the idea of staying in power longer than allowed, often invoking crowd reactions for entertainment. These moments were typically met with laughter and chants of support, though critics saw them as evidence of Democratic backsliding. Media commentators and political opponents seized on these moments to warn against potential constitutional crises. However, Trump's formal acknowledgement of the two-term limit now offers a degree of reassurance that he intends to adhere strictly to established democratic norms. Political strategy or legacy building? Observers suggest that Trump's public disavowal of a third term may also be a strategic move aimed at strengthening his legitimacy and legacy. By publicly committing to the constitutional limit, Trump not only distances himself from accusations of authoritarianism, but also paves the way for a controlled and orderly succession within the GOP. "He wants to be seen as the kingmaker now, not the king forever," said one Republican strategist familiar with the Trump campaign's internal deliberations. Trump's emphasis on completing 4 great years also underscores his focus on shaping his second term as a legacy-defining period. With key legislative battles, judicial appointments, and foreign policy confrontations ahead, the former president is likely to spend his remaining time in office consolidating achievements that align with his nationalist and populist vision. A final word to supporters. In addressing his base, Trump reiterated his appreciation for the support he has received throughout his political journey. "We've done things nobody thought possible," he said, referencing the economic revival, immigration policies, and foreign policy maneuvers that defined his earlier term. But every journey has a point where you pass the torch. With this statement, Trump may be signaling a larger transformation in the Republican Party, one that embraces his political legacy while preparing for a post-Trump future. While his influence is likely to endure for years to come, the former president's decision to step aside after his second term marks a pivotal moment in the evolution of American conservatism. In a political era often defined by disruption and uncertainty, Trump's declaration, grounded in constitutional respect, stands as a notable affirmation of the democratic process. As the Republican Party gears up for a leadership transition, all eyes will now turn to who among Trump's allies will rise to carry forward his enduring political movement.